Quarsh Panaka, the loyal guard from Naboo, as seen in The Phantom Menace, did not serve as Padme Amidala's bodyguard when she became a senator. Instead, his nephew Gregar Typho served in that role. When Padme Amidala's 2-term run as Queen of Naboo was over, Chancellor Palpatine personally asked her to continue her political career by serving as the planet's senator. She was hesitant at first because Palpatine had asked her to serve as senator the day that the next queen was elected. Padme would have gone straight from serving as the Queen of Naboo to being a senator embroiled in politics on Coruscant. She accepted the offer despite this, and came to the conclusion that she would need more protection while on Coruscant. Her previous handmaidens were moving on with their lives to pursue other interests, and she didn't think it would be fair to ask her handmaidens to continue to serve her. Additionally, the Royal Naboo Security Forces that were assigned to her protection were moving on with their lives as well. In particular, the captain of the Royal Guard, Quarsh Panaka, was not only retiring from Padme's service, but was also retiring from the Naboo Security Forces entirely. Officially, the reason Panaka was retiring was because he had dedicated most of his life to the Force, and his time as captain during Padme's term had aged him prematurely. He had been a loyal protector and was quite frankly good at his job, especially when it came to assessing threats. However, the unofficial, unspoken reason that Panaka was retiring was because Panaka had upset many members of the Naboo government. Panaka was always somewhat paranoid, truth be told. He was always preparing for the worst, and when the Trade Federation invaded the planet in 32 BBY at the beginning of Padme Amidala's term as queen, his fears were realized, and his paranoia was justified, at least in his eyes. Panaka was instrumental in gathering forces to retake Naboo from the droid army, as can be seen in the book Queen's Peril. However, after they kicked the droid army of the Federation off Naboo, Panaka pushed hard for heavier security. The rest of the government decided to go with something a little less fearsome, opting for a large ion pulse generator to be placed within the castle of Theed. This ion pulse, as seen being used in the Battlefront 2 campaign, was not enough of a defense in Panaka's opinion, and his push for heavier security created a rift between him and the other politicians. The book Queen's Shadow details this development between Panaka and the political hierarchy. In the book, Padme and Raylata, the next Queen of Naboo, are discussing the state of the planet in a meeting with the other Naboo politicians. The passage reads, "You have left me in an excellent position to begin," Raylata said. "We are at peace with the galaxy and the Gungans. Our food surpluses have recovered from the invasion, and the construction of the ion pulse is, I am told, entirely on schedule." The temperature in the room dropped considerably as Panaka's face hardened. He had opposed the ion pulse quite publicly, wanting more robust defenses, and his relationship with the Queen and the politicians who supported it had never fully recovered. They were calling his decision to leave the service retirement, but the truth was that Padme no longer trusted him as she once had, and neither did the incoming administration. Panaka's retirement was unfortunately because no one trusted him anymore, so he willingly left the Naboo Royal Security Forces. However, his wife, Mariek, remained in service, and was actually promoted to captain after Quarsh left. When Padme took on the role of senator, Mariek volunteered to join her on Coruscant. However, they believed that they would need more than one bodyguard protecting Padme, so Mariek recommended recruiting Gregar Typho, her nephew. Gregar was already a member of the Naboo Royal Security Forces at the time, and had actually lost one of his eyes in the Trade Federation's invasion of the planet several years prior. Gregar accepted the posting and soon became Padme Amidala's head of security while she served as the planet's senator. Meanwhile, former Captain Quarsh Panaka eventually returned to the service to provide protection for Queen Jamila when she was elected. Then, once the Clone Wars was over, Panaka was offered the rank of Moff by Emperor Palpatine once the Empire took over. Panaka had always been loyal to Palpatine, and was actually good friends with him, as could be seen in the Queen's Peril book. Panaka, of course, did not realize that Palpatine was a Sith, and I imagine that Palpatine didn't necessarily see or consider Panaka as a friend, but more of an asset. Nevertheless, Panaka became an Imperial Moff and served the Empire for years. Meanwhile, Gregar Typho joined a rebel cell called the Amidalans and worked to help bring down the Empire alongside Padme's former handmaidens. Alright, well that's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching, I sincerely hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video.